In this beautiful but heartless game, history is made in the smallest of moments. A centimeter here, a second there. An entire season or even a lifetime determined by one chance. A chance to be ingrained into the legacy of the minds of all those who love you or hate you. Our protagonist had one of these so-called moments. You know, one of those moments where the world slows down and all the noise seems to drown out, and it's just you versus destiny. In a flash of bright orange speed, the Flying Dutchman breaks through the Spanish offside trap and is through on goal all by himself. But on this particular occasion, the hero, as destiny would have it, was not Arjen Robben. Instead, it would be an abnormally determined man wearing dark green. Arjen had just choked in the biggest stage possible, the World Cup final, in front of his entire nation, who would have been hoping to see the Dutch lift their first ever World Cup after previously losing 2 finals in the 70s. Pain. How could he ever recover from this failure? Would he be given a chance to redeem himself? Well, actually, yeah, literally 20 minutes later, he had a one-on-one with Casillas, but couldn't get a shot off. Anyways, Iniesta would then strike a dagger into his chest to cement his choke as part of his final legacy. Further downstream, Robben's miss would also arguably prevent his teammate Wesley Sneijder from winning the 2010 Ballon d'Or. But this story doesn't end here, nor did it begin here for that matter. You see, Arjen wasn't exactly unfamiliar with these types of moments. Just 2 months earlier, he lost the Champions League final to Mourinho's famous 2010 Inter side, where he failed to really make an impact on the game. So after losing the 2 biggest competitions in the span of just 49 days, deep down, he would have been really questioning his ability to perform when it matters most. And that's the thing about choking. It really latches onto the back of your psyche. It eats away at your self-confidence like a parasite, brewing, festering, quietly influencing your every decision by casting doubt upon what would have been for you otherwise a straightforward decision. If we go further back in Robben's career, we can pinpoint a particular moment that may have changed things for him. The 06-07 season. This was his 3rd season for Chelsea, and arguably his worst performance-wise, as he had only bagged 3 goals and 6 assists across 37 appearances. So when Chelsea had drawn against Liverpool to send them to penalties in the semi-finals of the Champions League, Robben took charge of the situation and stepped up to take the first penalty versus Pepe Reina. Chelsea had never gotten past the semi-finals before and had failed to beat Liverpool in the 04-05 season at the same stage. So this was a chance to change history. But a poor strike is saved by Reina, and Chelsea are knocked out in penalties. This failure, without a doubt, would linger in Robben's mind throughout his career, and he would be especially reminded of it 5 years later when his former team met him in the 2012 Champions League final, itching for their first title. Combine this with the events of the World Cup and the 2010 Champions League final, and it would be an understatement to say Robben had some demons to exercise. So in Munich, in front of their home crowd, in a deadlocked game, Bayern draw a penalty in extra time to pretty much seal the deal. In this sport, you don't get many opportunities to prove yourself, let alone for redemption. But this was one of those moments. A legacy-changing one. The crowd goes quiet. The ref blows his whistle. Pain. Again. He couldn't hold the weight of expectation on his shoulders. And Chelsea, end up winning on penalties. This meant that Arjen Robben had just lost 4 finals in the span of only 3 years. A World Cup, 2 Champions Leagues, and a DFB Pokal only 2 weeks before this match. I mean, I feel bad to say this, but the man is just not clutch. Don't get me wrong, he was one of the best wingers of a generation, and was one of the only players in the picture just outside of the Messi-Ronaldo bubble, which on its own is impressive. Plus, his performances in large were one of the reasons Bayern were in the final to begin with, but no one's gonna write your name into stone for finishing in second place. And yes, the following season Bayern get to the final again, and Robben is given a golden 1v1 opportunity, paralleling the Casillas one, and he finishes to win them the Champions League. And then, to add another little bit of silver lining to his story, he comes up against Spain in the 2014 World Cup and puts 2 past Casillas, embarrassing him this time for a special kind of payback. But in my opinion, there will always be an asterisk looming next to Robben's legacy as a choke artist. An unfortunate stamp on his name and ability, but as most of us know already, this game is not for the faint of heart. And to this day, Arjen reveals that he still has nightmares about his World Cup miss.